All right, what is going on, everyone? Welcome back to Hit the Books, Season 3, Episode 26. We're going to go through a lot of stuff going on in the NHL world, NBA, college basketball, NFL wrapping up as we get into the MLB season here in a couple of weeks. A lot of stuff to get into until then, till March Madness in the MLB season. Like I said, it's me, Ace, and Mackie this week. No Jesse. Jesse is still away for work in Australia, doing all the work behind the scenes, but not on the mic this week. So just us three. Ace, hand things off over to you before we get started. How are we doing? How are we feeling heading into this week?
Yeah, I mean, hype for another week here. We got the NBA and NHL rolling. Well, NBA about to get rolling again, but NHL hot right now, coming off the press from the All Star game break. We've been doing well on our personal cards too. We're gonna look to get more plays out there. We got a couple of goal scorers out there tonight, first time of the season doing that. So hopefully the big dogs, Bedard and Matthews, can get the job done. Had the first live stream that we're doing at 6 o'clock now, 5:30, sometimes before our Wednesday recording. So definitely tune into that. Some sick stuff going on there. But yeah, ready to get rolling on another week here. Got MLB just around the corner too, so that's pretty hype. But yeah, doing well in Rhode Island.
Yeah, good to hear. Mackie, we'll hand things off over to you. How are things over in New York? How are we feeling coming into this week?
Yeah, not too bad. Had a rough college basketball day yesterday, but we've been pretty solid and looking to bounce back tonight. Other than that, yeah, the NHL is getting in full swing. After the All Star break, Rangers on an 8-0 or an 8 game winning streak after the All Star break, so you love to see that. Both goalies playing really well. Just going down the stretch, NBA gonna get back into it, but yeah, not much else going on.
Absolutely. Yeah, well, we'll get right into it. We'll start out with our NHL segment. We're going to go over our power rankings, all that good stuff. You heard us kind of go through it pretty kind of long winded on the live stream yesterday. If you're listening to us now, we'll go through the list, kind of what we got, who we like, kind of a quicker version. But we'll start out. We had number 5, the Colorado Avalanche. Number 4, Aces Boston Bruins. Number 3, Mackey's New York Rangers. Number 2, Florida Panthers. And number 1, the Vancouver Canucks. Like I said, we went through this. You guys have anything that you want to add? Florida's been on fire. Vancouver kind of stays at the top. They've been in that 1 and 2 slot the past couple of weeks. Ace, I'll kind of hand things off over to you. You guys have been sitting there in that top 5. Mackie, your team slid back up in there. Ace, let's hear what you have to say about the top 5 on our list.
Yeah, I mean, if you heard us on the live stream, we were saying earlier, Mackey's Rangers, my Bruins, his team's just hotter at the moment. We're right where we want to be. Florida Panthers surging, kind of like they were in the playoffs last year, to jump up into our rankings all the way up to 2. Canucks still doing their thing. Avalanche are who they are. But teams like the Jets getting bounced out, the Dallas Stars not been playing too great of hockey as late. I know the Stars been running into some hot goaltenders. I think the Leafs are starting to heat up a little bit too. They might be closing in on a spot there. Hurricanes always a good team. Vegas, got to figure it out. Edmonton falling out too after that long win streak. But a good list there nonetheless. And we're starting to get in that point of the season where every game really starts to matter. A lot of teams really catching up at the top too. No one really separating themselves too much yet. So good competition throughout. But Mackie, let me know what you think about the rankings.
Yeah, I agree with everything you said. Obviously, we're both of our teams being right where we want to be. Rangers just a bit hotter right now, but coming down the stretch, I think we're both going to be comfortable going into the playoffs. Panthers playing great hockey. Obviously, this team we've seen what this team could do. President's Trophy winners 2 years ago, conference or a Stanley Cup participants last year. Now they're on a 9 game heater to bring them in top 2 team in the league right now in terms of points. So uh, yeah, just other than that, who do we have at 5? The Avalanche. Avalanche, obviously, someone always to be scared of, but
Nate
Canucks playing
Dogg
good
going for the
hockey too.
MVP.
You got to look out for teams like the Oilers, the Hurricanes, Maple Leafs, all sitting on the outside looking in. The
Bolt.
Stars, yeah, Bolts, yeah, I guess, yeah, but
You think
yeah,
Vegas
a
has
lot of
any
good hockey.
chance of getting back up towards that top? We had them all there. We had them there the first couple of weeks of the season. They've lost 3 of 4. I'm looking at their schedule right now because this is a team that I definitely still have faith in heading into the playoffs. That kind of playoff style team that they built over there. They have a couple tough matchups coming up. Like I said, lost 3 of 4, but to start out March, they get Buffalo, Columbus, a tough matchup against Vancouver, but it is in Vegas. Seattle, Calgary, Detroit, they could definitely rattle off a couple of wins to start the month. Is that a team that either of you guys have faith in heading into the rest of the season?
I
Yeah, I
I
love that stretch right there.
I think they just
That's
have
what
to
I'm
get to the.
saying.
I mean,
I think that's
I'm
the
not.
stretch where they'll get back on.
Mackie, I'm right there with you. They just got to get in. Huff made some
Uh,
great points. they're a playoff built team. I'm not too worried about them. I don't think they'll crack our top 5 during the regular season too much, but come playoff time, that's a team you don't want to play, especially if you have to go to Vegas as the home team.
Yeah, you'd like to see them kinda turn the Jets on towards the end of the season to gain a little more momentum, but, I mean, they returned how many of those guys from that Stanley Cup winning team last year? They're still
Mhm.
built for a championship.
Eden Hill's back too.
They still have the mentality. What'd you say?
Eden
Aiden
Hill's
Hill.
back too, isn't he?
Yeah, yeah, and they still have that mentality, so, I mean, that team's always one to be scared of, but, like, right now, no, I wouldn't be scared to play that team, but, if you were to ask me that in 2 months, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
No matter how the end of the season ends, once playoff hockey comes around, they're gonna be a scary team to see.
Yeah, and then the other one in the East that Ace, I think it was me and you that have been saying for this for the past couple of weeks is when is Carolina going to take that next step? Do you have faith in them to kind of get back up to that top?
Yeah, I think they'll get back up to the power rankings. They're gonna heat up. They might finish as high as 1 in the Metro, right? But they'll probably sit around 2, I think. But they'll get back up in this ranking for sure. Too good not to. Their goaltending still worries me. I don't know. Is Freddie Anderson ever coming back? Guy's always on the table, but Kochetkov playing well, the youngin.
They're so good
A
at
lot of good
home
stuff
too.
going on.
That's like I
Yeah,
had
it's
them to close out a parlay
they're
the
the
other
same
night.
team, the Knights and the
There's I was
Kings.
gonna say that exactly. They bring back that same team. It's with Carolina. It's are they ever gonna get past the Eastern Conference Finals? We kind of don't really expect much of them. They're gonna win a playoff series. I mean, this year it's not. You know what I mean? As for like guaranteed, I guess you should say. The East is very tight, 1 through 8. I mean, I think any of these teams could win in the first round. A lot of them. I mean, the top seeds are their top seeds for a reason. But I think if Carolina slips in one of those middle packs and has to play a top series, but I don't see that happening. I think they're kind of similar to Vegas. They'll go on a stretch where they'll kind of solidify themselves as one of the top teams in the East. Right now, they sit in 4th in the East, ahead of Toronto. That's another team that we've been high on the past couple of weeks. It's caught fire, but I definitely think that they're in the same kind of boat as Vegas. I think once they get there, it's a whole different game for a team like that.
I mean, right? Yeah, but like it's kind of the opposite in their aspect. Like the Canes are always so good in the regular season, and they don't get it done
Hmm.
in the playoffs. So
Yeah,
honestly,
you're not
that's a
wrong.
team that I'm more scared of now than I would be in 2 months. But um, Rangers are on an 8-game heater right now, and I feel like we're just not even gaining any steps on these Hurricanes. They're still right on our ass, 4 points back. If they win if they won their next game, which would make us at same games played. But again, I'm not scared of this team when it comes to playoff time because they really can't get over that hump.
Well, first and second round, you can be afraid of them.
Well, no, because the Rangers took care of him 2 years ago in the second round. Last year was the first time I think they've gotten past the second round. Or not
No,
last year.
they went
Yeah,
to
Yeah,
the
they
last
Eastern
did.
year,
Conference
last
Finals
year.
a couple times.
It's definitely not like every year.
No,
I
no,
think
no,
like
They
no,
2
no.
out of the last 4, though.
I don't think so.
Yeah, they got swept both times.
Because I know what Ace is talking
Against the
about because they
Lightning,
got
did they make
swept.
one
They got
did they
swept
make
against the
one against the
Lightning.
Lightning?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe it was 4 years ago then, but, I mean, I feel like they always lose in the second round, but, yeah, I'm just not scared of them, to be honest.
Especially if you either both of you finish in the 1-2 spot, you won't see them for a while, anyways. Second round spot, that's where you want to see
Yeah,
them.
but they're gonna get like, right now, playoffs ended right now, they're playing the Flyers in the first round. I
You
mean,
know what though?
who
I
takes
have
the
it as
loss?
a note here, but I'm gonna call it out now. You know what? I don't know how much these rankings actually matter until that March 8th trade deadline comes. There's gonna be so many big moves, and they're gonna teeter totter those top teams so much. The teams that are on the brink, it's gonna bring some teams back to life that you thought were dead. Maybe someone like the Red Wings or like the Predators out west, Wild, something like that. Whoever makes Islanders, whoever makes a good move here, which always happens in the NHL because it's such a tough salary cap league. Um, that's how you see stars get moved around. But I'm eager to see what happens. I'm hoping my Bruins can make a few moves. Got Mason Lowry back up, but need to make some big moves here. Defenseman and forward. I know Mackey's probably eyeing some guys as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, you brought it up. Trade deadline March 8th, so that's coming up in about a week, 2 weeks, I think that is, as we round out the month of
2 weeks,
February
yeah.
and then a week into March. But I did want to do something kind of new. We've done this in the past with receivers. Mackie, did you bump that?
No, it's alright, it's
All
not
right.
really that important.
Yeah, so we've done this in the past with kind of football players, receivers, quarterbacks. We can kind of stem into this each week if we want to do this, kind of make this into something each week with the NHL, something we could do with the NBA as well. I just figured we'd start out. I saw a list of ESPN's top 10 goalies of this year so far, head up to this point. I was going to kind of give you guys 5 goalies that are in the top 5, blind rank them, or would you rather do top 10, or is that going to take a little too long?
Nah, do 5, do 5, do 5.
Yeah,
Okay.
5 for sure.
All right, I'll just kind of start. You guys know how it works. I'm gonna name a goal. I'm gonna name a name. You guys blind rank it 1 through 5, and then we'll kind of see where they all land
Oh, so
and
we're
see how
doing it
they
before we hear we're doing it before we
before
hear
you
the
hear the
rest of
list.
them.
Yeah,
Before you hear the list,
Okay. So
I'm
we're
gonna see it.
doing. Let me get this straight real quick. Let me get this straight. We're not doing every goalie in the NHL. We're doing out of the top 10 goalies. You're taking 5.
Yes.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
And
I'm gonna
Mackie
name.
and I are getting our own lists, or we're compiling one together.
No, you guys
Or
get
you know
each
what
get
you.
your own list.
Cool.
Oh, okay. We each get our own list. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I like this.
All right, let's go.
All right, we'll start out with Mackey's boy Igor Shesterkin.
So wait.
Mackie,
Okay.
go
Another
first.
question. When was this released? And like
It was released 4 days ago.
All right,
4
that's
days
good.
ago.
You're not trying to guess their list. I want to hear your list and
Yeah,
how it
make your
compares
list,
to their
Mackie.
list.
Make it.
So all these guys are in the top 5.
Yeah.
Basically, I might throw you one
All right.
curveball that sits at 6 or 7.
Wait. We gotta restart this.
Oh
All right,
my
just
God.
Shesterkin's first. Ace doesn't have any issues with this. Yeah.
No.
Okay.
1 through
Where you
5,
put 'em?
Shesterkin.
4.
Oh,
All right.
4. That's where I had him.
Sorokin.
2.
5.
Would you say Ace 2?
2.
Okay. Hallebuck.
1.
1.
Demko.
2.
3.
All right. Who's my
And
3?
what do you have left, Ace?
I have 5.
Vasilevsky.
Yeah, 5.
I am at 3. Okay, I like that. I like that list. Let's hear
So
it.
who's your
Let's
list,
hear
Mackie?
it, Huff.
Let's hear
Okay,
your
so
list.
I got who do I got at 1? I got
Hellebuck,
Hellebuck at 1, Demko at 2, Vazzy at 3, Shesterkin at 4, Sorokin at 5.
Ace, what did you do?
And Mackie, you want to know something? I think your list is very accurate for career-wise and what I think of them as players. But I took my list as this season, like right now.
we're
Who do I think? I went Hellebuck, Sorokin, Demko, Igor, Vasilevsky.
If we're going career-wise, Demko is not 2.
No, not like career, but like
I know what
coming
he's saying.
into
I know
the
what he's
season
saying.
and how you think they are actually. I'm talking about just like their play. Like I'm just looking at their play and their statistics this year.
Who was let's hear it.
Hellebuck, Sorokin, Demko, Shesterkin, Vasilevsky. Vasilevsky being on the IR to start the year really, really throwing a wrench into my list for that ranking.
Well, he was
All right,
also
you
your
wanna-
default 5.
No, but
You
I
wanna
would.
hear
I would
the initial
put him in
the
that
actual
spot, too.
list that the guy on ESPN
Yeah.
released.
Yeah.
All right, we'll go 5-1. Mackie, you were pretty fucking close. Sorokin at 5, Igor at 4,
Oh.
Demko at 3, Vasi at 2, and Hallebuck at 1.
I know
And while we're
Puck, man.
While we're on the
Oh, that's
topic, I'll
pretty
go
close.
through.
I got
I'll
3
go-
out of 5.
I felt like you when I said Sorokin, you thought that was the curveball, and you were like, "Fuck, I gotta put someone at a 2 spot." Like I don't know. Is that what
No,
was your thought
not even
process
that. I
on
wasn't thinking about that. It's like I
Puck has
don't.
L's. He's a lot of L's.
Mackie
You think?
immediately
I
was
haven't
like Sorokin or
I haven't looked at
Shesterkin's 4,
Sorokin.
Sorokin's got to be 5.
I just couldn't. I wasn't putting
Yeah.
Sorokin over Shesterkin with
I
the
thought
way that
Sorokin was having a better season than Shesterkin though.
Shesterkin's not playing that bad. Everyone's got to stop acting like he's like has like an 8.60.
What are his
save
stats
percentage.
though? What are his stats?
He's
though? I
over
wanna see that.
900.
Yeah, but isn't Shesterkin? Yeah, he's if we're going by it's wins. I don't want to look by that.
Do you guys want to try to?
Percentage.
I'm not gonna read the
Save
list off, but do you guys want to try to guess 6 through 10?
Oh fuck.
Who do you think 6 would be?
Ottinger.
Ottinger
I'm gonna
6.
go Ottinger at
It-
6.
Eden
that.
Hill's pretty good. Is this just like a power ranking of skill though?
This is based on
It's,
what this
it's
guy.
ranking.
This is,
what
yeah,
is
this
the
is
rankings
one
called?
guy ranking it.
What
It's
is the
t-
ranking called?
top
No, I
NHL
know,
goalies
but-
through this season? Like this is straight off this guy's opinion.
Up to this point in this season, he's saying that's the
Yeah.
top 5.
You
Yeah.
would have Vasilevsky at 2, really? I wouldn't.
I don't think I would either, but I would put Demko at 2.
Yeah. I thought Sorokin was having a better year than he is.
All right,
that's-
so
that's-
Mackie,
Otter
you,
at
s-
6.
you got Otter at 6. Who's 7?
Oh fuck,
Or
man.
who would
Eden
be your
Hill's
7?
up there, but he hasn't played enough.
Bobrovsky?
Bob's
Ace?
good. Yeah, I like Bob.
it's
Let me
not
think for a
Bobrovsky.
second, though.
No. Bobrovsky's
What
surprisingly
about
not in the top 10.
Swayman?
That
What
was
about
one that I was
Swayman?
surprised
What about
about.
Swayman?
All right, Swayman's 8.
Wait,
Saros
that
7.
was so dumb. Ace, I don't know how you
Saros
didn't.
Saros is good.
Saros
said
at
Sway.
7. Swayman at 8.
Sway at 8.
9 is Bobrovsky. That's what I was surprised about. I was surprised he wasn't a little bit higher.
Is Quick 10?
No.
No, Allmark's 10.
That's crazy that they have 2 goalies and we don't.
Well, we have the best goalie tandem. The guy just won the Vezina
We have
last year, too.
we have the best goalie tandem in the league this year.
You have an
You
old
guys had it
Washington
last
dude
year
that's
easily,
playing
yes.
well. If
What?
you're saying Jonathan Quick is better than Linus Ullmark, you're on crack.
This season he is 100%. What are you saying?
But he's just won the Vezina. Like, Jonathan Quick's washed.
Who's your starting goalie, Ace?
Swayman, though? But
Yeah,
I don't know.
The guy just
I
won a
don't know.
Vezina. Why isn't he your starting goalie? It's a different
One just
season.
made the All-Star game and one just won the Vezina, Mackie.
Okay, I'm
What
saying
did your guys do in the last 2 years?
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying this year.
Yeah, this
What
year
you guys
Swayman made
doing-
the All-Star
Yeah,
game.
Well, you guys have in the last 2 seasons a first round exit.
Swayman literally was just in the All-Star game.
Okay, that's what I'm
I didn't
saying.
see a Rangers goalie in the All-Star.
Shesterkin was in the All-Star game. You're just talking now.
Yeah,
You're just
all right.
chatting.
Yeah,
you
but
don't even know
still,
what you're saying.
Shesterkin's having a weak
Shesterkin
year.
was
you
in the
know that.
All-Star game.
Yeah, it's just off of his name, though. He's having a weak season.
Oh my god, that's crazy.
You don't think
That's
he's having a weak
crazy.
season?
We have 37 wins this year. He's not
No, I
okay.
know,
He's
but
having,
do you think Shesterkin's playing well?
you know what's
though?
crazy is that everyone's saying he's having such a bad season, and his numbers aren't even
You're
that
ranking
bad.
Jonathan
That's how
Quick
good
over
he is.
Shesterkin, and Jonathan Quick is washed.
Who just said? Who's putting Jonathan Quick over Shesterkin? Who?
No, not over him. I'm just saying you're saying if Jonathan Quick shouldn't have to be that good if you have Igor, but
That doesn't
I
even
mean-
make any sense that he shouldn't have to be that good.
I don't think he should have to play this much as he is. Do you?
Okay, I don't think Omar should have to play that much.
Our team's different though. Like that guy just won a Vezina.
Nope.
Like Quick's
Nope.
old.
I don't know, man. Quick is like he's like third in the league.
Like we have a really young one. We have a really young.
Young.
We have a really young one and a reigning Vezina. You have a Vezina from a few years ago, and then a really old guy who's deemed who's kind of written off.
Vezina from a few years ago. Let's take Omar's last 3 years and let's take Shesterkin's last 3 years. And I'm taking Shesterkin every single time. Let's take
Omar's is
Swayman's-
more recent though. I'm saying like that's why he gets a benefit of the doubt. I
You're
guess.
making it seem like Shesterkin's washed. He just had a
No. I think
fluke Vezina a
Shesterkin should
few
just
years
be
ago.
doing better. I'm surprised Quick's getting that many looks. I wouldn't have. I'm surprised they even brought him in. I mean, it's working out. It's a good play.
He started the season 9.
You see Bissonnette and Whitney talking about people like we're talking about moving Shesterkin too. Like that should never even be a discussion on the New York
It's
Rangers, I don't
insane,
think.
but the reason is because we started the season 17-3-1, and Quick was 9-0-1. Obviously, if he's gonna keep winning, you're gonna keep playing that goalie.
But
Shesterkin
there's no
wasn't-
way he starts in the playoffs. Like I heard rumors of that. No way.
I mean, I think he's gonna get a game. He's not gonna be the starting goalie, but he's like, the fact that you're able to just go to a separate goalie like that.
No, I
See,
know,
the
but I thought
problem with-
Shesterkin was
problem-
like
The problem with you guys last year is that you guys didn't know. I mean, obviously Omar won the Vezina; he was the starting goalie. But you guys wanted Swayman to be that starting goalie, and when it got to Game 7 and you really wanted to go with your guy, he wasn't ready for the opportunity
he
because
was
it was
hurt
too
though.
late.
He was hurt though. Well, he
It
was
was too
hurt in
late.
Game
That you guys
7.
had so much going on. We know,
Yeah.
and Quick knows who our starting guy is, so that if Quick goes into a game and he has to play a good game, he knows Shesterkin's getting the next game. He's our starting goalie. So we don't really have a problem there. And I think that's why you guys lost in the first round last year. You guys didn't really know what
Well,
you
he
guys
got
were
hurt.
doing.
Well, Omar got hurt in Game 5. They should have sat him once he got hurt because he wasn't playing up to his level.
Game 7 was they were both healthy. It was a decision to play Swayman.
But he wasn't like fully healthy. You know when they released that after the season, like what he was dealing with.
yeah. But nobody is, right? Nobody's
Well,
ever
no,
healthy.
I mean Swayman was.
Yeah, but
Swayman
nobody's ever
was. So they
fully
should have
healthy.
played him in Game 5.
Yeah,
I think.
well, that's the. We're not.
No,
gonna
but
have-
I'm just saying. I thought Shesterkin was on the trajectory to be like Vasilevsky level, where you don't even need a backup or consider it.
Well, I think Quick was just brought in for like that guy the old guy who was like trustworthy, who would only
Mentor him with the cups
get
too.
so many games. Yeah,
Like
mentor
here's
him.
also
Wait.
my thing. Shesterkin doesn't seem like the kind of guy that's gonna like wants to mentor a young goalie. I don't know if I'm kind of judging
I
a
didn't
book
think he
by its
needed
cover.
that, though.
I don't
but, like,
really. I mean,
I
he's
think
also a
you're- he's-
Vezina in already.
He's
You're
the
not-
kind. I'm saying no. I'm saying he's the kind of guy that you're better off having a veteran as his backup than some young kid because like I don't think he's the kind of guy that's going to be given too many pointers. I don't know if I'm just making, you know what I mean, like brushing someone
I
the wrong
agree with
way.
you.
But, like
I agree with. I don't know because
Didn't
he
they get
could
Quick
be that
cheap,
type of
though?
guy,
yeah, like
but I
that could be
definitely agree
that's a
with you
straight
there.
off like shooting from the hip. Like he just doesn't seem like the kind of
Mac,
guy
do you
that
know-
like
How much
is going to take
Quick's
well to
contract?
the Rangers drafting a 21-year-old goalie that could potentially take his job someday.
Exactly. Vet Min, $885,000.
Yeah, that's
You know who else
fire.
he signed for $885,000? Gustafsson, who's been the second best defenseman on our team this year. Chris Drury went crazy this offseason.
I'm
That's
surprised
kinda why we start
Gustafson signed for that low. I was high on him before he got dealt to Toronto last year at the deadline. Then he kind of fell off in their depth of defensive core and non-defensive hockey in Toronto. But going back to the quick thing, that's crazy that you were able to get him at that contract, and then he can play. He has the ability to play up to his level, and he's doing it behind a great team too. But just shocked me some of the rumors I heard. I guess that's what shell shocked me on Igor Shesterkin is all the rumors recently. I can't believe Rangers fans would consider moving him and keeping Quick to start in the playoffs. That doesn't make sense to me.
That also wasn't Rangers fans. That was Biz, who fucking hates the Rangers and
It was on Twitter too. It was all over. It was all over sports media. Though.
Only because of them talking about it. I don't think I've never heard.
That's what it was spurred by. You think though?
Because I've never heard that. I've never heard.
Well, the influence, all the comments and reading threads on stuff.
Quick's 38, man. Like
the influence that the Spit and Chicklets guys have on trade rumors is pretty crazy because, like, you remember. I feel like they gained their respect whenever they busted the Mike Babcock news. Like that's when they became like, okay, these guys have inside sources. So it's like when they say shit like that, that's more like Ace said, why are they saying, oh, go trade your franchise goalie that just won a Vezina 2 years ago? That's a little, you know what I mean? But like to Mackey's point, Biz always does chirp the Rangers fans. He hates the fucking Rangers. So I think that's more of I'll try to be as serious as possible, but like this is more for clicks and comments. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Witt just talks like in the moment. Like he thinks of like about like last night, whatever happened last night. That's like how it's going. But Shesterkin just had a 41 save. Incredible performance.
Yeah, I expect him to get back to form too.
Huff, did you watch that? You obviously watched the Winter Classic. The second one was terrible, but other than that, the rest of the goals were almost like impossible to save.
Yeah.
Like it's not like he's getting like lit up, like he's giving up bad goals. I don't know.
I actually didn't see
just high scoring. You expect different numbers, I guess, from
yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah. I didn't see the Devils Flyers game at all. I forget where I was at. I didn't watch that game at all, but the Rangers game, I did have the Rangers in that one. I didn't see any of the Islanders goals, dude. I turned off my TV upstairs. I was like, all right, I'm gonna go watch this in the basement. Dude, I turned the TV back on. It was 1-0 Rangers when I turned it off. I probably stopped watching for 8 minutes. I go back downstairs. It's 3-1. I'm like, what the fuck happened?
Yeah, they scored the second one.
I look at the ESPN app and like the time tracker of all the goals. I'm like, damn, they just went bang, 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 and like fuck.
Barzal buried one. I think that guy's been hot. He's actually good. He's the only guy on the island.
He's good.
Is good. Besides Sorokin.
I do like Barzal a lot. I will say that I've been a fan of his. I just hate the Islanders as a franchise.
Bruins missed on him in that draft where we had 3 picks, like 14, 15, 17. The best player we got was Jake DeBrusk, I think.
Damn, could you imagine Barzal was on your team instead of DeBrusk?
Chabot, Barzal, the names just keep going on and on and on.
Yeah.
But
I don't even follow. Like, I really don't even follow the NHL. The only drafts I like care to follow are the NFL and the NBA because the only guys you're going to see the next year.
First round,
unless NHL. Yeah,
I think first round of MLB, NHL, first round.
NHL, no, because NHL you only get like 4 out of the top 10 guys that'll play in the league in the first year. You really don't get any more than that.
Well, I feel like it's getting better though now, and they're all starting to come sooner because the league's softened up a bit too, and college hockey really jumping off. Like a lot.
College hockey's gotten so much better. They're so much more pro ready.
That's the thing. U.S. player, no, because they're not, because they get drafted when they're 18. They haven't even played college yet. So a lot of U.S. players are getting drafted in the top 10 now, and they all at least want to play a year of college. Besides Jack Hughes, I mean, you even saw like Trevor Zegras, who was drafted like 7th.
Owen Power.
He wanted to go play a year at BU, lighted the fuck up. And then he went to go play. Obviously, wanted to go play in the NHL after that. But most of these guys want to go play a year of college hockey because
you think Macklin Celebrini is gonna go right into the league after his first year in college? I know he's
because
17.
He got his taste of college early, but he's
17.
Well, he started at 17, or is he still?
Nah, I don't know if he is, but he has a late birthday, so he was able. His draft year is next year, so he was able to get a year of college in.
Like he's like unanimous one, right?
He's definitely 18 now, but yeah, he is.
Yeah, unanimous one. Unanimous one.
He's not Bedard good, but he's unanimous one. He's probably like,
who was the year? Who got picked first overall the year before Bedard?
Was that
Sladislavsky from Montreal?
Oh, Slavsky.
Or Owen Power maybe.
Owen Power went one, I thought.
He went to Buffalo 2 years ago.
He's probably like a Jack Hughes, honestly.
Rasmus Dahlin, Owen Power, guys like that.
He's like Jack Hughes because he's better than he's bigger prospect than like a Lafreniere. Even though Lafreniere.
Remember when the Oilers were picking first overall those years before they got McDavid? Some of the guys they took first overall, like Nail Yakupov.
Melia kebab.
Dude, there's
Yeah,
so
they
many
had some
more
pretty.
good American players now. Like that development team too. It's great to see.
Yeah. Damn,
Been
I will
watching some of that
definitely have to.
Hockey East. I've been
We'll
watching some
definitely
of
have
that
to
Hockey East
consider
stuff.
this. We'll definitely have to keep doing this in the NHL because I didn't expect that to spark such a good debate with goalies. You guys went in for like 10 minutes.
That
That
was
was
The good
great.
thing is we know a lot about the
Especially,
NHL too, so
and,
like we got to keep that going off. Good segment.
and
That's
me and
also why I
Ace
wanted to
definitely.
start with goalies because Mackie gets so defensive over Shesterkin so fast.
And we obviously have the best two goalie tandem in the league, so it was an easy thing
Not
to
even
go at us
close.
for.
Yeah, ours has just
All
been
right.
together longer too, so I'll take the win on
I'm
that.
sick of hearing about it. Just move on.
All right, we'll jump over into the NBA. I kind of already alluded to this. Fans, reporters, analysts, everyone was not happy with the result of the 2024 NBA All-Star Game in Indianapolis. As the NBA went back to the East and West format, where the East won the game 211 to 186, being the first team to score over 200 points in an All-Star game. I was kind of thinking about this throughout the day. I heard a couple of other shows, ESPN, a lot of the big media companies are all looking at this. What do you think the NBA can do to make the All-Star game competitive again? Or do you kind of see them taking the route that the NFL did and just totally wave the white flag? We tried, we can't do anything, and just kind of
You know
make it
what
a
they should
fucking
do? You know what they should fucking do? Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. But
Go
they
for it.
should literally do what the NHL did and just shrink it. The NHL did mini games where it's like 3-on-3 now. They should do like half court, like 3-on-3 or something like that,
Like
and
the
make it like
take back
21
line.
something like that. Like something that's more like they'll go
ball.
at it in that. Like you see these runs with these guys like in like private gyms where these guys go at it. It's just pure hooping. Like you get three guys. Like say you get like Giannis, Curry, and LeBron or something like that. Like how sick would that be for like a 3v3 tournament in like
Jokic,
half court?
Doncic, and
Jokic,
like
Doncic, and like Shy or something like that. Like
yeah,
that's so sick.
that'd be cool. I
Like
do like the also.
Adam
I like
Silver
the
hit the
All-Star
nail
weekend
on the
though.
head with the in-season tournament. You know how much that boosted ratings and these people like wanting to play in these regular season games. He needs to figure out something like this, like the NHL
But
did.
like people were
I
saying,
think
the
it's
point
just got to be make it the finals. Home court goes to the East or West in the finals, like the MLB. That's the best thing they do for it, and it's massive, especially in the NBA. Home court advantage is insane.
like the one
My
thing that a lot of people are saying is, oh, the in-season tournament was so successful because everyone got an extra 500,000 that won. It's like, and then someone made the point: these guys that are playing in the All-Star game could give a flying fuck less about $500,000. Like
Yeah, you
Damian
can't put that
Lillard
money
making
in.
38 million a year, LeBron 45 million. Like these guys aren't batting an eye over $500,000. Like the in-season tournament, the reason that worked was the Pacers made the
The bench
final, which is
players.
exactly what the NBA wanted. Was a team like the Pacers to go far, where three guys on the whole roster are making over 10 million, and there was, I think I saw 7 guys making less than 4 million. It's like some of these guys are making back 15% of their salary just to win a game. Like that's
Tax,
motivation.
obviously.
Yeah, that's enough motivation for them to go out and win it. And that's why the Pacers did what they did. Obviously, the Lakers won it, but people are like, "Oh, just throw $100,000 prize for each player." It's like, dude, you're not going to see any difference if you add a money value to the All-Star game, unless it's $1 million a player.
It's got to be championship incentive because all those guys are ring chasing too. I think that's the best way to do it. I like Mackey's idea though. That's pretty cool. I think their All Star weekend is actually pretty cool though. I liked how they had the G League team play out too. Those guys were grinding. The celebrity game, obviously not too high on that, but that's a good thing to do. Probably more for the in person event rather than TV event.
Yeah, yeah.
I like that they brought in the WNBA sharpshooter to go against Curry. That was pretty cool. She shot from deep too. She shot from the NBA 3-point line. The dunk contest still pretty fun to see, even though it's not as creative as it used to be, in my opinion. All they do is jump over people now.
It's jump over the
And
most
then
famous celebrity that's in the front row.
yeah,
Find
literally,
Shaq. Find Shaq.
yeah,
Yeah,
literally the guy that owns Prime with
Logan Paul, KSI.
yeah, they jumped over him for the dunk. I mean, that's all right. But the 3-point competition, love to see that. And then like the Rising Stars games, other things like that too. I saw some people saying they could do a USA versus World type of game
I
that
saw
might get a
that.
little
Yeah,
heated. Get make it a little more personal. I think personally, just you got to make it for the finals, and then that actually gets people playing your in-season tournament, All-Star game.
yeah. That's kind of how I was thinking about it too. It's just there that's why the MLB, like the MLB, is the one All-Star game where I mean it's slowed down. Guys don't care. You can
You don't
tell it's
get
an
hurt as
All-Star
much in
game.
the MLB, so you can try hard. The only thing they don't try
Exactly.
hard on is running the bases.
And there's a reason that they switch pitchers every inning because they want guys throwing 9 to 15 pitches, and it's like, okay, I'm done, thanks. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah,
there's a reason we
but
brought
they're
2
throwing their
full
best
staffs of
stuff.
pitchers. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting to see what they do because there's a lot of people saying they should just do what the NFL did and just say, fuck it, we're going to play dodgeball for a weekend. Like,
Yeah, that's awful. Flag football, oof, brutal.
but like, I also think the reason
It's
that
hard
works in
with
the NFL and not why
it's
it wouldn't work with the NBA is because it's in the middle of the season. If you have Kevin Durant or Anthony Edwards playing dodgeball and tears his ACL, done, done, done.
Yeah.
Like, that'll be the last time you ever see that. You know what I mean?
it's also hard with the NFL because like players that don't want to try, like you gotta hit. Like there's no way around at the NFL without
Yeah.
hitting. And like if you don't want players getting hurt, then you can't really play the game to the full force. The NHL, you could still play the game to the full force without throwing the body around. It's like obviously you're not gonna be like
It's not
balls
playoff
to the
hockey,
wall, but you
but
can play good hockey without throwing the body
Yeah.
around. The NBA,
especially
these
3-on-3.
guys also like you can't really like. I guess they could, but like they fucking they roll a knee or something like that. They're out for the season. Like they can't be going balls to the wall either. But
Yeah.
I don't know.
Also,
The
pretty,
whole
pretty,
All-Star game thing is it's just so hard with like
yeah.
with like how people go about it. And like you saw Anthony Edwards say like nobody wants to come here and try. Like that's the entire NBA. Nobody had like every single one of them have the same exact mindset with that.
Did you see him shoot lefty in the skills competition?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you see his
Like it's
quote?
that.
He just
Like,
likes
shit
being
like
the
that.
villain. He just likes being the
It's
villain.
shit like he
He's-
just likes pissing people off.
I will say he is one of my favorite players in the NBA right now. And my dumbass, I was sitting over my cousins. We took that team Pacers to win that skills competition just because last year the team Jazz won it. I'm like, they love when the home team win
The
this
home
shit. They
team.
put them in it for a reason. So I was like, all right, we took the Pacers team. And my cousin was like, dude, the one team is Wemby, Ant Edwards, and Paolo. He's
number
like, it's all
ones.
the number one picks. Like, let's take them. I'm like, damn, like, all right, yeah. No, I was like, I was in on it. I was like, okay, let's just do the Pacers. I don't want to involve with the rest of it. I think it's rigged. So then, thank God I did that. And then next thing you know, I see on Twitter, Anthony Edwards is shooting lefty, hitting the glass from the corner. I'm like, dude, if I had money on this, MGM would
People
be
have
getting the
200
strongest email in the world. I'd be like, at least give
People-
me a free bet back. This is bullshit.
People have $200 in the line. This guy comes out shooting lefty, hitting the side of the backboard twice in a row. I'd be like throwing shit at my TV.
Like, could you imagine Connor McDavid showing up to the All-Star game and being like, yeah, I'm going to do the skills competition right-handed?
No, some guys
Yeah.
weren't trying in the skills competition. Nikita Kucherov, if you saw any of his highlights, people weren't too amused with that. But everybody
Well,
else in the
Nikita's
league-
Nikita, but like I feel like some of the guys, like if they messed up once or twice, they knew they weren't going to win, so they just kind of fucked around.
They just,
a little more,
they
but,
just
like,
fuck around, yeah.
If they were hit, like if they hit the first two corners, like in the corner competition, they were trying hard for sure.
Yeah. That was what I had to say about Edwards saying he was shooting.
But we
lefty.
gotta
That was
see.
crazy,
They
but-
gotta do something. I'm eager to see if they do anything, but I
Yeah.
hope they do.
Absolutely. We'll jump over to the NFL. Two quick headlines. My Steelers, again, keeping their name in the quarterback conversation through the early parts of the offseason. A couple weeks ago, we talked about Justin Fields coming to the Steelers, looking like that is not as realistic as we said a couple of weeks ago. DraftKings currently has the Steelers as a minus 250 favorite now to land Russell Wilson in Pittsburgh. I'm curious what you guys think. I'm going to say yes. He's my favorite non-Steeler of all time coming to my team. I'm fully bought in on this idea. This is kind of my football fandom full circle coming to reality if it does. I'm going to be majorly let down if this doesn't happen because I never thought it would be this realistic. But like coming from someone that's not me, a biased Russell Wilson fan that defended the Denver Broncos for the past 2 years, and a delusional Steeler fan, I actually am like genuinely curious what you think the Steelers look like with Russell Wilson under center. Ace, start with you.
Oh, I like him a lot more than Kenny. I personally would have given him Kenny Pickett one more run, but that's all right. He'll be in backup.
What?
He's under the
What?
contract. You
Are
would?
you crazy?
I'm laughing at Mackie, not you saying that. I'm Mackie.
You just saw the one more run. You just saw the one more run with Mac Jones, and how'd that go? You're not gonna run
Not
it back
very
with
well,
any
yeah,
shit.
not very well. But he's in a better situation, I think. He has a lot more playmakers around him, and it was his sophomore season. I personally would have. I don't know if I'd spend that much money on Russell Wilson. I'm not too high on him anymore. You're gonna have to pay a lot more. You could put other pieces on that team. I think maybe keep building that defense a little bit more. But I don't know. I'm not. I think Russell Wilson maybe helps them stay in the playoffs because stay in the playoff contention, in the bubble. But I don't think it teeters in too much. They're not winning a Super Bowl with him.
Here's the thing: Steelers just got to the playoffs, didn't really have a chance of winning a playoff game. This move, in my opinion, gives them a chance to win one, maybe two playoff games. I don't think it makes them a contender
It's
whatsoever.
Russell Wilson at his best from Denver, though.
From Denver. Yeah, I guess you're right. I mean,
He's
I
only
mean,
gonna get
this
worse too. He
team
keeps
though.
getting older. He's getting
I
older.
mean, look at what they've done with shit quarterback after shit quarterback. I mean, they had I forget who it was because I forget it's someone different every week, but
No, I
who
know,
was it?
but
Mitch Trubisky started that playoff game? Like,
I'd get someone else on the market then, or draft someone. I wouldn't go with Russell Wilson. I personally wouldn't spend the money on the aging Russell Wilson. I don't think he's the missing piece for a Super Bowl or a few playoff wins.
Because
Russ had a decent season here,
the
though.
only thing I
He
saw,
did, but he
yeah,
can't
all
get
right,
better
this
than
is
that.
Huff, where do like realistically, without being biased, even though I know that's impossible with you Yinzers, but where do you think you go this year with Russell Wilson?
all right. So we made the playoffs last year with Mason Rudolph down the stretch and majority season of Kenny Pickett. Trubisky came in and blew 2 games. If you get a healthy
Put
Russell
it this
Wilson,
way.
go.
Put it this way. You made the playoffs with 0 chance of winning a playoff game.
Yeah,
Yeah, but that's because TJ Watt was out.
Not they didn't really. I mean, they were
we
going
didn't.
into
Yeah,
Buffalo.
I know. Yeah, I know what you mean, but we didn't have a chance in that game. That
So this
was
could
Buffalo's
literally
game to lose. I think if we have Russell Wilson in that game, specifically that game, TJ Watt and Russell Wilson in that game, I think we're it's hard to say.
You still
points.
lose.
I think you have a chance. We lose, but we still have a chance.
you lose because it's in Buffalo, but you're not in that situation if that
I don't
team is
know.
that team. You know
You
what
think
I mean?
I
you think
agree.
Russell Wilson will stay healthy in the AFC North too? That's a big
I also
question.
don't think we'd be a 7 seed with him. I think you can get that extra seed because you'd get 2 or 3 more wins with not having Pickett, Trubisky, and
You
Rudolph.
think it's worth it to spend the money on Russell Wilson while the Ravens and the Browns are in their prime right now, and the Bengals are going to get really good when Joe Burrow's healthy again? You would spend money on the old quarterback rather than get someone
There's-
younger or draft someone to develop
Who
and
do you
put
get?
on that team.
There's
You
not
get,
much
they just made the
money.
playoffs. They don't have a high draft pick. This is the problem with the Steelers that they keep making the playoffs with these shitty ass teams and they can't
Would you rather take
build their
Michael
team
Penix
because they
or
have
Russell
the
Wilson?
17th pick. What'd you say?
Michael Penix or Russell Wilson?
Russell Wilson. He's won a Super Bowl with a good defense. You got to think like if he comes into
He
a
won a Super
system
Bowl
that,
a decade ago. 11 years ago he won a Super Bowl.
That's a good point, Mackie. That's a long time.
when's
ago now.
Dak Prescott won one?
I'm not saying that. I'm not.
You made Huff mad. You came at Russell
I'm
Wilson.
not shitting on it. I'm just saying it was a different time. He's played on 2 separate. Okay, not.
And
two
he's a
separate-
play call away from being a 2-time champion if his head coach wasn't a fucking dumbass.
Huff, here's another tough
10
thing.
years ago.
How long of a contract do you give Russell Wilson?
2 years.
And
And
you know the
just so
first
you
year
know,
didn't-
if Denver
it took
cuts
him a
him,
while
they
to get
owe him his
acclimated.
salary. Steelers don't.
It took him a while to get acclimated in Denver. It took him a full season, a season and a half almost to get acclimated in Denver.
Yeah, but
Would
that
you be
was
willing to
also
go?
Nathaniel
Hackett
Hackett
was
is his head coach.
No, I know. I get that. But
you're going into probably definitely the best coach in the league right now.
with good weapons, I
in
agree.
terms of
But
winning.
I would spend my money elsewhere personally. I think he's going to cost a pretty penny.
See, I think you
don't-
can get him on a 2-year deal for like 20,
you get
22
him-
million.
If you get him for the price, I don't think the Steelers are in the.
I would go
in the
young.
right situation.
The
to
rest of
go
the
for a
team's young.
quarterback this year. What quarterback can you put into that? What quarterback in this draft can you put into that team right now to succeed? I don't think one of them.
I'd have to look at it.
I think
But
you
there's
would
other
need a
free
veteran with
agents
that
too.
team.
There's other free agents too.
Who else would you
We-
go for besides Russell Wilson right now?
Because the only other
Justin
realistic
Fields-
option
I don't
that
think-
we're
I
gonna
don't
get
think
is
they're
Kansas.
Russell
Fields would
Wilson
be
away.
your best bet. Justin Fields would be your best bet in my opinion.
Maybe I
Yeah.
just wouldn't go for Russell Wilson in general. Like I personally wouldn't look for him. I don't think there's many teams that he's going to take to a Super Bowl that are in the fight to get him. But I guess if you can get him for a good deal, maybe why not? It's not a bad deal, but it doesn't change the big difference on the season or your future.
See,
I think he's only going to get worse. I don't think he gets better than last year.
I think if the Steelers can get to the playoffs and Russell Wilson is playing decent, he just has to be a game manager in those games with that defense.
How
I mean,
old
you
is
just
he
gotta
now?
put points up on the board.
34.
We've seen worse teams than the Steelers team with the Russell Wilson quarterback win a Super Bowl. You see the Giants were 9-7 and beat a 17-18-0 Patriots team. We've seen teams go on runs like this because of their
35.
defense.
Dude, there was a
usually.
stretch.
Turning
There was a stretch last
He's
year.
35
last
turning
season.
36. Let me remind you that. 35 turning 36.
What did I say? 34. Okay, yeah. So there was a stretch last season where he was a serious thought for not only MVP, but people thought the Broncos were going to make a run in the playoffs.
But he
It
also
was
started off what, like 0-4, 1-4?
He was 1-5. He got to 6-5, and then everyone was like, "Whoa, he has better numbers than Mahomes. Maybe he should be an MVP." And then obviously the Broncos did what the Broncos did, but he
Yeah.
did have a numbers wise.
Well,
he had a good season.
it also didn't help when Sean Payton totally fucking slaughtered his name whenever he said, we're going to cut you if you don't redo this. Made Russ look bad when he said, I'm not redoing my contract in week 15, which it's a contract. We're not redoing it until, like, talk to me in 3 weeks when the season's over. We're not making the playoffs. That was just a bad move for Sean Payton, for Russ. That was a bad situation for everyone in Denver. I think from there on, it was like, I'm out of here. Sean Payton and Russ, now I don't think ever got along.
Here's my take. I just thought of this. There's only one difference between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Broncos is the coach, and you could say it's very important. But let's look at this for a second. Russell Wilson going to Denver. You had really good young weapons on the outside, high-touted prospects. You had a good young running back. You had a great defense, and he did nothing with it. And now you have
They
the
didn't have
same
a great
exact situation.
defense.
The Denver Broncos 2 years when they joined the league, they have one of the top 5 defenses in the league.
Before the season, they were supposed to 100%, but that team absolutely shit the
I'm
bed.
saying when he went there, though. I'm saying when he went there, like that's what he's going to be walking into with the Steelers too. It did 2 years ago, even when they were bad.
We also have something Denver didn't have, and that's a functioning offensive line now. The Steelers the past 5 years haven't had an offensive line. The past 3 years, they've built this offensive line to a point where now we have Broderick Jones coming into his second year. You bring in C. Amalu last year, who had a hell of a season, got hurt at one point, missed a game, had a great season. They're going to draft a center this year. That's, I mean, what I'm understanding. I don't think Mason Cole's a long-term answer there. They moved on from Chooks. Our first 2 draft picks this year are offensive line. Like, we're going to have one of those young offensive lines that in 2 years is going to be, if you keep it together, it's one of the best in the league. Yeah.
But I just don't see Russell Wilson getting better. I see regression. He's turning 36 in the early part of this season, and you put him on a 2-year deal. I don't think he's the answer. I don't think he gets you any further than you went this year.
I think he can get you an extra game.
He's going against one of the best defensive divisions in the league.
I don't think you're going for a Super Bowl with a move with getting Russell Wilson.
If they get Russell Wilson, where do they finish in that division next year? I still think 4, maybe 3.
That division, they can finish first. They can finish fourth with every team in that division.
I mean, any team in that division, it could go anywhere.
Will they go further than they did this year?
They genuinely could finish first or fourth. I think that they can get an extra game. I don't think that they can win a deep playoff game.
Who is the third seed in the playoffs this year?
Who's the third seed? Chiefs.
Who is the Chiefs?
Yeah.
All right. So if we slide up 1, we go to Kansas City, we'd lose that game. If you can manage a 5 seed or a 6 seed, Kansas City, I think they'll be higher. I mean, that was a fall off year for them. Not a lot of people thought they were going to get it done. They get to the third.
There was no Bengals last year. They died.
If the Steelers want a chance, they have to win their division. You're not going to go in as a wild card with that.
You need a home playoff game. You need a home playoff.
Dude, this is all I'm saying. It's a lot of money to spend to not go much further. I think they don't go as far as they did this year. I don't even think they make the playoffs.
I just don't think you can do another year of Kenny Pickett and waste. You got to try with TJ.
Would you go somewhere else though, Mackie? Would you invest in the aging Russell Wilson?
I would go to Justin Fields. I would do anything to get Justin Fields for that Steelers team right now. It's your best chance at winning anything. I mean, obviously he hasn't won yet, and he hasn't proved that. But if you want to do anything with that Steelers team, Russell Wilson is not going to get it there. You need a player like Justin Fields who's either going to be a jackpot hit or he's going to be a loss, and you're going to have to deal with that. You're not going to go anywhere with Kenny Pickett, and I don't really think you're going to get very far with Russell Wilson either.
That's why I wouldn't spend the money.
And then today with what I was going to bring up with Justin Fields, he was on the St. Brown's. Amon-Ra and his brother have a podcast, and he was on there today. He said, if it was up to me, I'd stay in Chicago. I love the city. And then he added at the end, it's a business. I have no control over what happens. So whatever happens, happens. And then they were asking him straight up, asking him about the Atlanta Falcons. He's still a Bear, still a Chicago Bear, just said he wants to stay in Chicago. And he goes, yeah, they have weapons like, Bijan, my boy Bijan's down there, Kyle Pitts, Drake London. He goes, we would have to get another receiver, but I think that's an enticing offense for me to go to.
Yeah, that'd be
he has his eyes set on Atlanta.
That would be electric, though.
That's crazy. That. Yeah, too bad he doesn't really have much say in any of this. They have to figure it all out within the organization.
I'd take Caleb Williams if I'm the Bears.
I think he's checked out. I think he's checked out of Chicago.
If I'm Atlanta, you're giving up whatever you can. This guy wants to play there. Give him their second. Give him their fifth. You're at the Atlanta Falcons. You haven't had a quarterback since Matt Ryan.
Worth it? Are you doing all that
for a team like Atlanta? For a team like Atlanta,
in today's NFL,
Atlanta has don't they have a high draft?
Today's NFL QB landscape, I think it's worth it.
I think that they can get I see, I think Atlanta's a team where you can draft a quarterback and you could just deal with that. I don't think going to Atlanta is the right thing for Justin Fields, I don't. I don't
Mackie,
think
the
he should
thing
go
that
into a team like that that's underdeveloped. You were just in a system that was underdeveloped, and you were looked at as the best player in the system. Now you're gonna go to another shit
But he
team
won't
who's
be the
struggling
best player
down
in the
there.
system.
Okay, he's gonna be top 2. Okay, Bijan, you have Bijan in the backfield. Other than that,
Bijan, Pitts, in
you're in
London.
an underdeveloped system with a first-year head coach that you're not gonna succeed. You go to Pittsburgh, that's your best chance of succeeding.
It's the
He's just gonna
weakest
shit the
division
bed
in the
over.
league, though. Weakest division in the league, though.
Okay, get to the
that's why
playoffs and lose first round to the Cowboys or the Eagles.
I don't know though. A lot of talent hidden there. Defense is getting built up too over
That's
free
just
agency
setting
the
him
last
up.
couple of years.
I think that's just setting him up for failure going down to
Mackie,
Atlanta.
the plan that I saw that people think Atlanta's going to go for is if they get Justin Fields, give them their second round and their fifth. I believe Atlanta has 2 second rounders this year. 8th overall, they want to pick. I saw they're thinking receiver, offensive line. If they don't go offensive line, that guy from Notre Dame, if he's still there, they're going to go Malik Neighbors from LSU and get that
Those are all
second
good.
receiver.
Rome or
Rome
maybe.
Dunze.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't understand how they're gonna be able to get Justin Fields to hold on to that number 8 pick either, but
Because Chicago,
Mackie, let me ask you this though:
first
what's a
overall
better
pick, though.
landing spot for Justin Fields though? Pick a better landing spot than Atlanta for Justin Fields.
Pittsburgh. I've explained that for the last
I
10
agree. I
minutes.
think-
I think he fits the Atlanta offense more though.
I think it's setting him up for failure, and he's going to be another offense where he finds ways to put up big plays, but they still lose the game 32-31, and he still ends up with a 6-10 record or a 7-9 record or
If
7-10, however many fucking games they
you
play
think
this
though,
year.
imagine Justin Fields getting chased around by Myles Garrett and Patrick Cream rather than that weak NFC South.
Well, he's got a better line in Pittsburgh. He's got a better defense in Pittsburgh. He's got probably better weapons, even if you bring
You
in
just think
Malik
it's a good
Neighbors.
landing spot for anybody. That's just the most ready team outside of a QB is more so the take on
Look at
that.
that team who makes the playoffs year in and year out with the worst quarterback in the league.
Do you
I
think
mean,
they're going to
if
be better
if
next year than they are this year though? I don't know.
if there's nobody other than Justin Fields to go in that situation, I don't know who. I mean, this is the quarterback who everyone says needs to get out of Chicago and go to a team to show what he can do. This team is ready for a quarterback like Justin Fields.
I think you're saying, yeah, the team is more of a great landing spot for any QB. But I personally think the better fit would be with Atlanta.
Here's the other thing I wanted to ask.
I
Do you
think
think
you're
it's a
wrong.
better? What do you think's a better chance? Since you said run it back with Pickett, if they don't
Mhm.
get Russ, one, I'll be just totally let down, like I said about 20 minutes ago. But if they don't get Russ, the realistic option is we just signed Arthur Smith to be the offensive coordinator. They're going to bring in Tannehill to either be the starter or the backup. Do you think that's a better option?
I'd get someone young.
It's
though.
way
I'd get
less
someone
money.
young.
To your point, you said Russ isn't worth the money. You know you're getting Tannehill
Yeah.
at maybe $3 million a year, $4 million a year.
Yeah, that's cheap. It's not a bad like safety net, right?
And he's
Gardner
worked with
Minshew,
Arthur
same thing.
Smith.
What
Like,
about a Gardner Minshew?
I'm a Minshew fan, so like me and my cousin have always liked Minshew. I don't
Come
want him on
on.
my team. Mackie, it's the kind of thing where I like him. I don't want him on my team. You know what I mean? It's like
Come on,
Jameis
man.
Winston.
Like,
I love Jameis Winston. I don't want
I would get
Jameis
someone
Winston at
young
this
though. I
team.
would draft one. Look at what the 49ers did with Brock Purdy. You're saying you can find someone in the first few rounds that you can find someone to fit your system that plays that kind of ball. That's what I would try and do if you're saying that the Steelers are that ready to be a good team.
Don't act like the Niners drafted Brock Purdy to be that guy. They had Trey Lance drafted 3rd overall.
No, I know, but I'm saying he fits into that spot. Like you can find someone that will perform in that spot for a lot cheaper, and you can spend your money elsewhere and bolster your roster in other ways.
It's hard,
I
though.
agree
You gotta
with
hit
I
jackpot
agree
on
with the point
quarterbacks
you're
like
making
that.
because it's like if you spend all this money on Russell Wilson, there's a good chance that like me being a fan, his ceiling is what it is. We know what he can do, what he did last year in that stretch where you just said they went from 1-5 to 6-5. He was putting up MVP numbers. There's also a chance where he comes in and does what he did in Denver 2 years ago, where Ace said it takes a little bit for things to start clicking. New offense, never worked with Arthur Smith before, a run-heavy offense, which
And he's getting older.
friendly to. That's worked in Seattle, exactly. You said he's 35, turning 36 by the time the season starts. I do see the side where you could bring Tannehill in and almost expect the exact same thing.
Yeah, and you could get other pieces, and you could keep
No,
other pieces too. If
you
you're spending
do.
$2 million on 2 years, if you're signing for 2 years, you're gonna lose some people from that defense that you talk so much about, and maybe
I
some
think
skill players.
either way, Tannehill or Russ, I think it's a good situation for Pickett to sit for a year and learn behind a guy that's been there, done that.
If I got Tannehill or Russ, though, I would draft someone rather than cut Pickett. I'd cut Pickett to the curb at that point because then his contract will be done by the time he's ready to go.
But then if he doesn't play, you can get him on. You can get him on a cheap deal. Be like, dude, you haven't done anything.
Yeah, but no, he'd leave if he lost the starting job for sure. or a
I
first round
don't
pick.
know.
I think he'd be out. I think Mac Jones, if we bring in someone else, he's got to be out. Those guys got to be out.
Yeah, but do you think
It'll be interesting to see
to
how
that
it
point?
unfolds, though.
To that point, like I don't think Kenny's played himself out of a starting spot yet. Like, do you think Mac Jones is getting another starting job in the NFL?
Would you be like how? I wouldn't be shocked if Mac Jones was still the starter for the Patriots somehow.
I wouldn't either.
Doesn't that make you want to throw up?
No,
Just another wasted NFL
No.
season.
our team was brutal. Our team was brutal.
Off-
I just want to see what they
Off
do.
is throwing up at Kenny Pickett, and Kenny Pickett had
Yeah, but
triple
here's the
year
thing:
Mac
if we
Jones
get Mac
had.
Jones, if we bring back Mac Jones, that means we're probably getting Marvin Harrison.
What
pretty much,
quarterback do you want to draft? Well, you have the third overall pick. Who do you want the Patriots to
I
draft?
would take any whichever third quarterback falls to us. That's what I would do personally. I would draft whatever quarterback falls to you at 3.
I'd want
You're not
Jaden
gonna be
Daniels
this
to
high
go back if
again.
I was you.
Yeah, well, I want Caleb Williams the most actually. I think he's the best one.
Yeah, but yeah,
he's
that's
not
the
gonna
only one
fall
you
to
don't
us.
have a
Caleb
chance
Williams
at.
is
Yeah.
not falling to 3.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
if the Bears don't
That's
take
the only
him,
one I want. So I don't care if it's Drake May or Jaden Daniels. I'll take either one. They can't be worse than Mac Jones. And if not, and you went with Marvin Harrison, or you traded down even and got like better O linemen, like there's the tight end Brock Bowers, like you just got to get a playmaker some on the offensive side of the ball.
Here's a
somewhere.
trade example for you that you just said trade back. They could give Atlanta that third overall pick. Atlanta could go draft a quarterback. Give us your 8th and like a second rounder. That's an easy trade the Patriots would make 10 times out of 10.
Yeah,
You're
and
not getting Marvin Harrison at 8.
No, but you can get other guys. You can get the top O lineman in the draft, or you can get Brock Bowers. There's a lot of you can get a skill player somewhere, like an impact player right now. They had no impact players on offense, the Patriots. You just gotta get one. I don't care who it is. You gotta get.
I mean, like I said, like, do you feel like the Patriots are a quarterback away?
No.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think this is the year you guys need to reach on a quarterback. Like, just because you have the third overall pick
I would take a quarterback at 3 though, because I think you can build around him. You have on that rookie deal for a few years, and they have a third most cap space in the league. Build around them, incentivizes people to come, and look at what CJ Stroud just did to a Texans team that was more than a QB away.
See, I was thinking about it more like in the route that I just said. If you try to trade back and they can guaranteed sign any free agent quarterback, Tannehill, Cousins, any of these guys to fill in a gap year, I think you're better off.
No, I'd go with the young quarterback right now. I think you're restarting your whole franchise essentially. You got new coaches, new GMs everywhere. Get the young quarterback that's going to start with them and then spend around it. They're going to spend around it. They're going to spend heavily this offseason. I'm eager to see who they get. Gerard Mayo and Robert Kraft both already came out and said that. And it's going to be a change from the Belichick era by seeing the Patriots open up the checkbook big time. I think that's what's going to happen. And I think they're going to draft a quarterback too. They care about their fan base too. That's why they brought it. If they did what you were talking about, veteran piecemeal and like build for future and keep the future good, they would have kept Belichick around. They're with Gerard Mayo. They're going to make a splash this offseason and in the draft.
All right,
it'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I didn't think about it like that, but I definitely see what you're saying. It's more the way the teams go about that. You get the new head coach, bring in his quarterback, the guy that he wants to draft. Like that's how it's going to go.
Yeah, I think so. And they spend the money. Like they have so much money to spend. They haven't spent in the whole Belichick era. Belichick's the guy that's like, I'm not spending. So it's like, well, we're gonna actually spend all this money.
Belichick's like, let's trade this guy away for a 6th round pick, and then when he sucks for the Chargers, we'll bring him back for a 7th.
Yep. Give me a comp pick while you did it too.
Yeah, exactly. Give me a 5th round pick in 3 years is while you're at it.
Yeah, he's just building a dynasty, but we gotta wait for him.
Yeah, so a lot of NFL talk, free agency draft coming up in April. So definitely going to stay in that world with all the NFL rumors, where guys going, a lot of what ifs going on in the NFL right now. We'll move over to the MLB. Two quick things in the MLB. Big talk in the MLB the past couple of weeks has been expansion and their plan to try to add 2 teams to the league in the next coming years. I've seen Nashville is probably considered the top destination to kind of be almost guaranteed a team if they can get the funding, a stadium, all that good stuff, which goes into that. But I wanted to see if you guys could name two cities, and this was planning that Oakland is already in Vegas. What are 2 cities that you could see getting an MLB team? I almost said NBA.
You gotta think of other cities that have like 1 or 2 sports.
Utah,
and the other
right?
sports.
Like, doesn't Utah want one?
I saw Salt Lake City on the list.
Oklahoma City, like maybe with Thunder, I feel like
that would
they
be
get a
cool
good fan base over there.
You could always stick
I was
another team in
thinking.
Texas or Florida.
Carolina? Is
I,
there a
w-
Carolina
I
team?
was
Am I
thinking.
bugging?
That's what I was thinking, Mackie. Charlotte or Raleigh, anywhere in North
Is
Carolina.
there no North Carolina or South Carolina baseball teams?
No, there's no Carolina, whatever.
Wow.
Because there's the Carolina
Atlanta,
Panthers, the
Atlanta
Carolina
Braves.
Hurricanes, the Charlotte Hornets. The
Carolina,
only thing they're missing is baseball.
Carolina should definitely get a sports or an MLB team.
I think Salt
Yeah,
Lake City
because
probably or Utah. Definitely.
People are saying
That'd be
Montreal.
interesting.
Does Montreal get their team back? I don't see
Oh,
that
another
happening.
Canadian team? No,
I don't
there's
see
Yeah.
that happening either.
I'd see a team in Mexico before I saw a team in.
They said
The only reason
Mexico City.
Toronto
They said it would go to Mexico City. That's
Really?
an option. Yeah.
You can't. You
Yeah,
can't.
I wouldn't be
It's
surprised.
too
They were already playing
too
games there
native.
last year, weren't they?
Mhm.
Yeah, but it's too native. Like Toronto is like the USA of the North. Like Montreal is like I feel like the reason it didn't work is because it's French. It's French.
Yeah, but if you go
They
go
don't-
see some of
As
these
he's wearing
around these
Expos hat, I didn't even
stadiums.
realize that. That's funny.
Yeah, but Max,
It's a
these
huge hat,
stadiums
though.
like
I get so many
the
compliments.
San Diego Padres, the Houston Astros, where they play around the areas, not too far off from there.
Yeah, but it's America. You go to Mexico City, it's it's just.
You'd be surprised though. I mean, they've been expanding that there for a reason. They've been playing a lot.
I'd
of
be
games
shocked
there.
if they truly set up house in Mexico. I would.
Yeah, I actually I would be surprised if they said.
I don't know if there's too many other markets. Like you think those Carolina markets?
Oh,
can
there's
support
definitely a
baseball
market
team?
for it. There's definitely a market
Yeah.
for it in
In
Mexico. I'm
Carolina,
just saying
for
what
sure,
it adds in terms of the economic difference of adding another country into the mix. Like you already got
And
Canada.
think about teams. Think about
They already
teams just
have
having to go
Canada.
down to Mexico. Like
Teams already go to Canada.
yeah, but it's not Canada. It's Toronto. It's USA Canada. Like it doesn't count. Toronto's the most US. Toronto's a more US city
No,
than
I
like,
get
Washington.
your take. I don't think
Seattle.
it's that far off though. I don't think it's
You know what
as
I was
far fetched as you guys think.
Like here's how I'm thinking about it. Like if you're on the Toronto Blue Jays, every single road trip you take, you're going to a different country. Like you know how much more
Every
annoying
single
your
one.
travel has to be? Like
Every single one. Yeah.
at least in
I'm
the
sure they have
NHL, there's a
It's
chance.
super simplified because it's the Toronto Blue Jays. They get paid a lot
Yeah.
of money.
Yeah,
Like, they're good.
exactly. You know what I
Think
mean?
about how easy it is the NHL to travel back and forth between countries, probably.
Yeah, but like I'm saying, that's the thing is like there's a chance Edmonton can play Calgary or Ottawa or Montreal, Toronto. There's a lot of 6 or 7 teams in Canada in hockey.
And they do it. They do that. They do play all those teams.
When do they
project?
When do they project to
Exactly.
get 2 more teams in the MLB?
They
What?
said, what is it, 2024? I think 2026 they want to add 2 teams.
Oh, I don't think that happens.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go with Nashville, and I'm gonna go with Charlotte.
I do like
or
Nashville.
anywhere in
Slash
North
just Carolina. Mackie, that's what I said. Just because they wouldn't be called the Charlotte Hornets like what they are. It's the Carolina whatever.
You
Yeah,
think it'd
that's where
definitely
Charlotte
be
messed
Nashville?
up.
It wouldn't be like Memphis. Like they'd go in Nashville. You think they're trying to build it up with that new Titan
That new
Stadium going on?
Titan Stadium,
Yeah.
baseball stadium, just do it all at once kind of thing.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
Like I
Other
don't
than
know.
that,
I also
Utah's
think
the
that's why
big market. They
Nashville
got money.
like Nashville and that the owner of the Utah Jazz is ready to buy the Coyotes and bring them to Salt Lake. Did you
Yeah,
see
I
that?
saw that. Yeah, I saw that.
That'd be interesting.
But Huff, we got that MLB around the horn on our card here. I think we'll get that going more so in the coming weeks as we get closer to the season. But like you said, spring training not too far away, just around the corner. There's still a lot of good free agents out there as well. We were talking about Ohtani and that nasty scar he has, hitting a home run in his first live BP.
He looks like he's
some
having
guys
way
show-
too much fun in LA. I'm scared. Like I say in LA, like he wasn't in
He's
LA
like
before.
Mookie Betts.
He's-
Look at him.
Dude,
Everybody's there.
He's
It's
having
like,
too much fun in that clubhouse. That team is going to be
Oh,
so
they're-
scary this
they're
year.
winning a World Series. Do we lock in a
Yeah.
future on that?
It's plus 330. How do you take that future?
You know,
Because it's only gonna get lower.
I agree. It's only as soon as they win, they
How
start
many
the
times
season
this year,
9-0
Mackie?
or-
How many times this year do you think you'll see over plus whatever it starts the season at?
with what?
The Dodgers to win the World Series. Like, do you think their odds ever drop? I don't think they ever get cold like that.
I don't know. They definitely don't drop. You're gonna see like plus 180 by the end of the season because they're gonna have 117 wins.
Yeah.
I
they
like a
start the
bet though.
season.
I like Ohtani to have the most home runs in the season. Reason being, he has no other
He
priorities
hits
this year.
around everybody else too.
He can't pitch. He's just
His
gonna be
lineup
hitting.
protection.
And you know he just got paid all that money. He's gonna want to live up to it. I think he breaks this year. At the
Imagine
plate.
that lineup, dude. You got Mookie Betts on base with Shohei Ohtani on up or on the on deck circle.
You can't pitch around anybody because the top 5 batters can all do whatever.
One of the
fuck
best
they
hitting
want.
catchers in the league too. Like their depth is good. They brought back Kirsch. They have so many. You know what's crazy? They have so many big prospects coming up to pitch for them this year too, and they already have guys. Walker Bueller's coming back to pitch for them too. They're in the talks to get Kenley Jansen back, if not another great closer in the MLB. They're gonna
You know
keep
they'll
adding
buy
to
2
and
more
to the
guys, like,
deadline.
they're not done.
Yeah, no, that team's going for it this year. I think they're gonna get it, but that league's gonna be exciting to watch and follow. I like watching more of the Cinderella stories and closer matchups in the MLB as it gets going. Pretty competitive league, so we'll have to get going. I've seen a lot of pitchers warming up. I was watching that young guy Yuri Perez for the Marlins throwing the other day. That guy's gonna be good, but excited for a
He was
season
good
from him, I
last
think.
year. I remember we were taking him every time he started until he went on that cold streak or got hurt. What was
Yep,
it?
he got hurt. Or he
No,
got
no, they
sent down
sent him
actually.
down. They sent him down,
Yeah,
yeah.
he didn't get hurt. They sent him down just because he was so young and they didn't want to eat his innings. But yeah, he's gonna be fun to watch.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. And then, real quick, we'll just jump into this. The College Football Playoff Committee officially released their top 5 and 7 through 12 format for the new playoff format coming this season. Do we think this is going to kind of have an immediate impact sooner than later, later than sooner? How do you think? Like, for example, March Madness, we've seen a 16 seed beat a 1. We've seen a 12 seed beat a
Oh,
5 almost every
definitely,
year.
definitely.
What's the lowest seed you see winning? Because, like, keep in mind, it's going to be Michigan, Ohio State, fucking all the big dogs at the top.
Well, no, because the top 5 teams
It's
are going to be
conference
all
winners. Conference winners.
So you could
So it's
see
Oh, you could see a low
you could
seed
see
winning for
you
sure.
could see
Then
Alabama and Georgia have 12-0, 11-1 seasons, and
and
then
Alabama's
Georgia's
the
a 6
9 seed. Or,
because
7 seed, yeah.
yeah,
and you know what's
exactly.
gonna happen now too? The good teams are gonna get misseeded, and they're gonna give other teams their true seeding because you know how they had to front load it before to make sure they got into the playoffs, so they might not have actually been the 4, but because we want to see this team there, now they can be like, oh, Georgia's still in, but now they're only in 11.
Yeah,
But it's like they're not in 11. We
yeah.
know they're not. You know.
I know what you're saying. They can just drop these teams down because they're still
Like
in the
like,
playoffs.
basically,
Yeah.
preseason, like, they love to put, like, here like, they love to have Ohio State in the top 5 every year. I mean, they are, but they usually blow it at some point. But, like, that's a team where they can kind of anticipate, oh, is this an Ohio State national championship team, or is this a 3-loss Ohio State team that we can preseason rank at 9 instead of 4? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
Like they can misseed things a lot more with flexibility now. That's how you give
That is
people
a good point.
respect.
I'm interested. That's a good point to bring up because I
And
wonder how if that
are
will
they gonna be
change.
really setting up matchups too? Like I hope they don't. I know they're going to just for better TV ratings. What's gonna be good matchups and how's it gonna play out in the end too?
Yeah, like
So
if we can
I'm
get
gonna
Alabama Auburn in the first round, everyone wants to see the Iron Bowl for the playoff. You know what I mean? Like that kind
and
of
then
stuff.
that means we can see Alabama and Georgia don't meet until like here if everything goes according to plan. It's like
And then really the
so we'll see
national
a lot of
championship
upsets.
is all again, it's Georgia versus Bama, or you know what I mean? The two teams that
Yeah.
they wanted to get there in the 14 playoff, but because you know that's what they're rooting for. They don't want some Cinderella story to win the first season because they're going to be like, and this is why we didn't do this many years ago because like we told you the
Yeah.
top teams were still going to win. Like you guys can let Coastal or you guys can let Cincinnati into the 14 playoff. They're still going to
Like
lose 58
UCF,
to nothing.
undefeated UCF isn't winning the whole thing.
Yeah, yeah,
That'd be
exactly.
interesting
When
though.
they were
I'm hyped
claiming
for it. You said
themselves as the national champions, that was
yeah,
hilarious.
yeah, like relax, relax. But no, it'll be
It's like,
fun to
yeah, you
watch though.
guys
I'm
beat
excited to watch
Tulane.
that. It's already piquing my interest now. It's so far away, and I'm not even a huge college sports guy like you guys,
It's
but that's gonna be
it's a
exciting.
10 time better format to look forward to. Like a lot of people, like I was telling Jesse, I'm like, you're a Penn State guy. Like there's a good chance Penn State makes this the first year it happens. Not a good chance, but like they always in the season 10 to 12. I'm like,
Yeah,
there's
they're
a good
always
chance
around the
you're the
hunt,
bottom seed in this playoff.
right?
Like teams like Penn State, Michigan, not Michigan, but like Penn
Any of
State,
the
those
Power
teams that are
5 schools that like hang
Auburn,
around.
yeah, that aren't top tier in the SEC,
Ole Miss,
like an
Tennessee.
Auburn, yeah, LSU last year, like they sucked, but a perfect example, a team that's good, not great, terrible defense. Are they one of those teams? It's like that'd be a team that they'd want to see
Washington,
get in. They're a big name, yeah,
Iowa that
Yeah, for
can't
sure.
score.
yeah. You imagine Iowa in
Yeah,
the
you're gonna see
playoffs
some of
last
those
year.
teams like my buddy made an Ole Miss future bet to win the national championship because you could see teams like that
They have a
just go on
chance
a
to.
run. These teams that could be 11 or 12 seed that can just get in because like obviously last year an Ole Miss ticket was not going anywhere because they have no chance of winning the
It was
SEC
plus
and getting into the top
75,000.
4 teams. Now you have these odds where these teams that are the 11 and 12 can just go on a quick run, make an upset or two, and then bam, they're in the national championship game. And
Dude,
you
it's the
could
same
you
format
could
as the
get good
NFL
value
now.
on these tickets.
It's the same format as the NFL before the NFL added the third wildcard team. Exact same.
No, I don't think so. I think the top 4 teams get a bye.
Yeah, but
Top four gonna buy.
you
5
know what
plays
I mean.
12.
It's the same amount of games, basically, like in that format.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I
Right.
meant. I
Yeah,
didn't
but
mean it's the same
that
exact.
fifth Power 5 team that wins their conference is gonna get snubbed and have to not get a first round bye. It's gonna be a lot of controversy too. I'm eager to
Here's what I
see how
wanted
this
to ask.
pans out and everything and how everything goes down.
How's that work with the Pac-12 having like 3 teams next year?
You know what? I think it's only a Power 4 now. So top 4 team. Wait, no,
I think
they
it's
said
I
Power
think it's
5.
top 4. I think it's top 4 conference winners, and then the first ranked. That's I think it. I
No,
could be
because
wrong.
they said 5. They said 5.
And then 7 through 12.
Yeah, and then 7 through 12. I don't know.
Like, is Oregon
You know, I
State
actually have no
automatically the 5
idea.
seed?
No, there's no way that they can do the Pac-12 being a Power 5 conference anymore. I mean, there's nobody in it. Nobody's in it.
Exactly. I'd say the American's harder to win than the Pac-12. Like,
It's this year, right?
yeah, everyone's
Everything's being
gone from the
switched this
Pac-12.
year.
Pac-12's done.
Yeah, like the AAC is probably the next best conference.
Yeah.
I
Or
don't know.
fuck, even
I don't know
like,
what they're gonna do.
yeah, I seriously, Mountain West, like seriously, like
There is no Mountain
you can
West.
argue those are just as competitive as, you know what I mean? The fucking whatever the Pac-12 is going to be in the coming years. Colorado's gone. All these teams are gone. Who's it?
Yeah.
I think Stanford stayed. Like, there's 3 teams.
Oregon
I think it's like
State.
Stanford,
Yeah.
Oregon State, and Washington State. Like
Yeah,
6.
something like that.
Stanford, 5 seed.
There's no way that they can. I mean, those teams can go like
They're-
500 max.
Yeah, there's something that we're missing. That 5 seed is something other than, because the Pac-12, like you said, Pac-12 can't be considered Power 5.
Right. No way.
But,
We'll look into that and get back to it next episode.
yeah, we'll mention that next week. But that's about all we got this week. Anything else you guys want to throw in?
No, not much.
It was a good one.
Yeah, that's about all I
Get
got.
ready.
Thanks
Hit
for
those college
listening.
basketball bets.
Yeah, hopefully, Indiana's on it. I'm watching Duke right now. They're up 11-7
8:30.
early. 8:30. Okay. I also took Xavier, so I got both of my games at 8:30. So, all right. Well, I think that's gonna do it. We'll see you guys Saturday, Sunday for the live stream for college basketball. Next week for the podcast. Typical schedule. Stay tuned to the social media. Make sure you're not missing any of the plays. Got two NHL plays out tonight. 1 college basketball play out tonight. By the time you're listening to this, those plays will already be determined. So make sure you're staying tuned to our social media so you're not missing any plays. Turn those post notifications on Twitter, Instagram, getting all our plays out daily whenever we have them. So thanks for listening. We appreciate it.
Huff sounds like a guy on a plane reading the warning right there. Keep your arms inside the cabin.
This
Ladies
is
and
your captain
gentlemen.
speaking.
All that trick though.
All right. Yeah, but that's it. We'll see you guys next week. Thanks for listening.